How do I do this? Hello, everyone of the future and present. How's it going? This is a live video where I'm going to be doing the dishes. So if you're going to pretend that I complain about this, that's going to be really on you. I do these every once in a while. It's like a Q&A slash story time while I do the dishes. I have fun and hopefully you have fun. Of course, if you're here live, it's a lot more fun. I'm just trying to turn on my interwebs over here. Where? Oh, hold on a second. We got this tablet here, and I don't use it too often. Ah, there we go. So I have trouble sometimes finding the freaking apps. And update. No, don't update. I have to update. How are you guys doing? My friend Alex was live over on his channel. He went live right as I was gonna go live because I have all these dishes to do, and then I was gonna go outside and do some work. Hopefully it stays not rainy right now because I have some stuff to do outside that requires dryness, or at least for the most part dryness. But anyway, he just finished, so now I'm here. I may have to. This is updating. So how are you guys doing this morning? Right now it's like 11, so it's almost noon, almost lunchtime. Just ate like 5 slices of banana bread. Show your shirt, bro. Oh, my brother might be here. It's Kool-Aid, man. If you're just watching Alex's video, he mentioned me running through a wall in his store while we were renovating, and someone sent me this shirt in when I did that. In response to that, I guess you could say. Hello, Pat and Vicky. Vicky from Curve Lake slash Bob Canyon. No, Cajun. Bob Cajun. I don't know what that is or where that is, but sick. Lewis, Sandy, you look fantastic. Okay, I will take that as a compliment. Susan, Beth, and Kat, and Elizabeth, and everyone. Holly, Tammy, Martin Murphy Art. Howdy from Vancouver. Vancouver! Okay, here we go. Well, the volume might be up. Let me turn that volume. Oh, turned it all the way up. Okay, now how do I? There we go. Live. Click that. I just need to see the chat. Okay, now go to live chat. Live. Oh, it's already on live chat. Sick. Rachel Bartley. Hello. Grateful Daughter says, hey. Stephen A. says, hi, Ashley and Josh. Ashley's not here. She's at work. Sometimes she works in the daytime. Sometimes she works in the evening time. Yesterday she worked, or not yesterday, but, well, technically yesterday, she worked in the morning as well. But she got home in the morning at about 1 a.m. And then she went to work this morning at a regular job, not her, what do you call it? Secondary job, you know, at home, working for me for free. We're a team. Okay, so today we're doing some dishes, and I thought I would tell you a story of something that happened to me probably about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. I can't remember exactly. We had, why do I always look for this and we never have it? Okay, we need a new one of these cloth things, dishcloths. I gave my friend the rooster cup from your store for her birthday, and she looked, thanks Elizabeth for checking out the Teespring. Appreciate that. I haven't added a new item to that for, I don't know, a couple months probably. Maybe I should do another new design. I should probably take some of the old designs off so it doesn't look so crowded in there. Or put them in the back or whatever you call it. You know when you take your old stock, you put it in the back and then you re-release it later and then pretend it's new? Maybe I'll do that. I should really do a better job of actually wearing my own merch so that people will know that it exists and know if they want it. But thank you. I guess you don't really wear a cup. But you know what I'm saying. I have that cup though. Whoa! This cup you got it, right? This is just a little doodle I did. Decided to throw it up on a cup. If you want this, guys, you can check it out on my TEESPRING. Okay, we got that apple scented, whatchamacallit? Dawn. Do the bubble test. Stick that down there. We got quite a few dishes to wash today because Ashley made banana bread last night. And that stuff's not good for, I don't know if it's not good for the dishwasher, but typically we don't put it in the dishwasher. She raises chickens. Oh, okay. Let's see your Kool-Aid shirt. I just showed it, but I'll show it again. Someone sent this to me. Sorry, I forget who it was, but thank you. I wear it all the time. I'll have to remember to wear it if I ever run through a wall again. Or maybe I'll like just dress up as a jug of juice and just be like, I'm the Kool-Aid man now. Okay. We got some cutlery. Normally I put that stuff in the dishwasher, but we'll do it right now. Anyway, I was going to tell you guys a story. So, if you're friends with me on Facebook, every once in a while I'll put on something that doesn't make sense. Sometimes I'll put on like on my, what do you call it, the status? Facebook status, or it used to be called the status. It might be called something else now, but you know what I'm talking about, right? It's like, what are you up to or something, right? Or how are you, I forget what it says exactly. Anyways. Sometimes I'll say something silly, sometimes I'll say something that doesn't make any sense, sometimes I'll just share an opinion, so on and so forth. Well, this morning, for whatever reason, I was listening to Unbelievable by Rio Diamond and Hi Bishy, what is that? Sandy. I just did a live the other day and you could see what's going on with them there. It's unlisted, so you'll have to go back into your notifications to see, but just as a quick update, they are doing decent. Anyways, Diamond Rio, what did I say? Did I say like gem or something? What did I say? Diamond Rio, okay. No, I said Rio Diamond. That's funny. Diamond Rio. Okay. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Rio Diamond. You know, I think probably I'm just remembering that when I said that, it didn't sound right. And you probably saw I was thinking like, what the heck was his name? Anyways, I was listening to, I think the song is called Unbelievable, right? Is that at least right? It might be called, She's so beautiful. Na, 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 na. Yeah, anyways, I love that song, okay? And yesterday, Dakota was over working in the... Oh, son of a... Beep. Good thing this thing is water resistant. Dakota was over, and he has like a pretty eclectic playlist on his Spotify, and we were listening to it in the shop. And that was one of the songs. So this morning, I started listening to it because these cats were like running all over the place, and it was so early. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna put it in my headphones so that they're like earplugs. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna listen to music. I'll just get up. And so, turned on that song. And then, the next song that played was the same song, but a Barbershop Quartet version. Okay? And I'm pretty sure most of you know what a Barbershop Quartet is. But in case you don't, it's like, there'll be like 4 or 5 guys. I don't know if there's a specific number. And they wear these stupid hats and they sing. And there's like a baritone guy. And there's like high guys. And then there's like people who just like make noise. Like, because they're a cappella. So they make the music with their mouth, right? Like beatboxing kind of, okay? So they did a version of it. Sounded pretty good. And it triggered a memory. So on my Facebook status today, if you're friends with me, then you may have already seen it. I shared a story, and I'm going to share it with you guys because I think it's funny. Oh, Sandy. Okay. Well, that sucks. They're doing fine. The chicks. Anyways, so I shared this thing. This is a true story, by the way. I'm not making this up. I know sometimes I like messing with you guys, and I'll tell a story that's just meant to be humorous. But this story is a 100% true. Okay, so this happened like 6 or 7 or so years ago. Is it still? Hopefully that's fine. Hello, Bradley. Hopefully that's not buffering. For some reason it was buffering. Hopefully we're good. I think we're good. Okay. Anyway, there was a car show that came to town, to my small town here, or the town that I live close to anyway. And it was like also a swap meet and also like vendors and stuff, right? And I was like, I've never done an art vendoring at a car show before. Maybe I'll try it. So I go there, set up, and actually the night before I did like 3 paintings, super quick, of cars. I think I still have 2 of them. And then I already had a couple, but I was like, I should have at least some cars so I can put them out, set them up, whatever, right? And they weren't very good because I did like 3 in like, I don't know, 10 or so hours. But anyway, I go to the place and I'm selling stuff, and this old man comes by and he's like looking at the art, and this guy's probably, I don't know, in his 70s or so, and he's like talking to me about the art. And then I have a lot of musicians too, right? So I have the cars and the musicians kind of mixed, and he's like talking about the certain cars. He's like, what car is this? He's like, oh, that's a Cadillac. Oh, that looks like a this, that looks like a that. And then he's like, oh, I noticed that you painted whoever. I can't remember who I had there. Jim Morrison, actually, I think it was. I did Jim Morrison. And he's like, oh yeah, there's Jim Morrison. He's like, yeah, and there's whoever and whoever and whoever, right? He asked if I could sing, right? And because I have all these things, whatever. And I also had my truck, the one with all the Sharpie art on it, and it looked different at the time. Nowadays it has different art on it, but back then it had way more and different pictures. Anyways, he assumed that I liked driving because I had this car at a car show, blah, blah, blah. So then he also assumed that I also sang because I painted all these musicians and singers and whatnot. And, oh yeah, I had Eminem as well. I had a painting of Eminem, and he asked if I could rap. And I was like, no, I suppose I could try to rap. And then he asked if I could sing, and then I said, definitely can't sing. And so then he was like, oh, okay. And then he kind of leaves for a bit, and then he comes back later. And I'm there with my friend. Jason is his name. All right, so it's me and Jason, and he's just helping me when people want to buy something or whatever. I only sold a few things while I was there. It actually was not a very good time in terms of sale, but it was a good time in terms of I love going to car shows. So anyways, me and Jason are there, and then the old man, he comes back again, and he has like his friend or whoever, some guy, some other old man, and then he's looking at the musicians and stuff, and I thought he was going to buy one of them, because oftentimes when someone comes and looks and chats with you and then leaves and then comes back, And especially if they come back a few times, you're like, oh, I'm probably going to be able to sell them something because they seem more interested in it. So I thought he was going to buy something, but he left again. Then he came back with like two other dudes, I think. And these people weren't as old. They were probably like in their like 40s or so, right? And so I'm like, hey, what is this guy's deal? And then he comes up to me. I'm sitting in a lawn chair eating some carnival food, some mini donuts, and he gives me his card, and it's like this red card, and it says like the gentleman something. I can't remember. Something about gentleman. And he's like, he's like, yeah, we're part of a group of 90 or so men who go around and do Barbershop Quartet. And I was like, oh, okay. So I thought he was giving me his card because he was like, hey, next time you're doing an art show, hire us out and we'll annoyingly sing to people. And I was just like, interesting. Okay. So I take his card, and then my friend Jason, he's like reading it, and it's like the gentleman something something. And he thought it was like, gentlemen dancers, of the explicit nature, if you will, and or something like that. And so he's like the gentleman. I wish I remembered what it was. It was like the gentleman definitely didn't seem like it was anything about singing, but it was like the gentleman something like persuaders or something. I can't remember what the heck it was. Definitely didn't say the gentleman singers. It said like the gentleman boogie or something. I can't remember what the heck it was. Some like noun. Can't remember what it was. Anyways, so he gets to talking, and then he gives him a card as well. And he's like, yeah, if you guys are ever interested in joining our group. And I was like, dude, I can't sing. And he's like, oh, that's okay. And I was like, what do you mean it's okay? He's like, yeah, there's 90 of us. Not all of us can sing. And I was like, so you guys go around. I don't know who would hire these people. Or maybe it's like Christmas caroling and you just do it like spontaneously or whatever. But I was thinking, you guys go around and inconvenience people with your singing, and you can't even do it good? What the heck? That doesn't even make any sense. The object of like being a what do you call it? Entertainer is to be entertaining. So I was thinking, like, what else do you guys possibly do that people would want to listen to you guys not able to sing? Because they never even gave us a demo of them singing, and there was like probably like 8 of them there in the end, because they were going around to like all the like vendors and stuff. And so I was thinking, if you guys like, if only one of you guys can sing, or if whatever amount of you guys can sing, but you're not even singing here, that must mean that most of you can't sing. So you're like, what are you doing? That's like hiring mechanics who don't know anything about cars. And you're like, oh no, that's okay. Like, the point of bringing your car to a shop to get fixed is to have it get fixed. But if you're like, that doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, that's the thing that happened a few years ago, where I was invited to become a part of a barbershop quartet, even though I told them that I couldn't sing. Has anything like that ever happened to you guys? Hello, Smurf M. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Bradley. I sound great in the shower when it's a full moon, LOL. Dude, I sound not good. Every once in a while, I'll just sing for just shits and giggles. But no one goes, wow, I didn't know you could sing. They laugh because they can hear that I can't sing. I wish now that these old men did one of their routines or whatever you call it, one of their sets. They weren't wearing their silly hats, the straw hats or anything, or the striped shirts. They were just dressed just in regular street clothes. But I never took him up on it. My friend, though, he actually contemplated it. And I was like, bro, you can't sing either. And he's like, you don't know that? I'm like, dude, I've worked for you for like, I don't know how many years. We sing on the job site all the time. I can hear you over my own terrible singing, dude. I know you can't sing. But he thought it was funny. I thought it was funny too. Like, one of the stipulations to being in a singing group should be that you could sing. Like, probably nothing else matters. Like, you don't need to have arms. You don't need to have legs. You don't even need to have eyes. You can be blind. But as long as your vocals sound pleasing, especially if you're going to be an annoying singer, you just go up to someone and you're like, measuring cups, measuring cups, measuring cups. Like, it should sound good. Whatever you're going to sing about. Probably not measuring cups. I just have this in my hand. But, like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they thought, oh, we could just teach you. Or maybe, now I'm thinking about it, maybe they thought we could be like the instruments, like the mouth instruments. Because there's like people who are just making noise, right? To like, for like a melody or whatever. Maybe they could strip. They weren't, they were old dudes. I guess there could be old strippers. That's not what they were about. They were just random old men who could maybe or maybe not sing, who also wanted us to sing with them in their group of 90 or so individual men. I can't remember how he had like a more like eloquent way of explaining what he does. He didn't say, hey, we're part of a group of men who can't sing, come join. That would have been hilarious. Hello, Luna Tubby. I was scammed on my birthday by what? By I not violinist in a parking lot. Had a sign, have 3 kids, P, rent is due, gave him $5. Then while his performance was not matching the music. Then while what? Sorry, I can't follow that. Do I play any musical instruments? That sounded good. I don't play any instruments. I have tried to learn to play the guitar, but I can't learn by trying to read music because I can't read music. And also, being able to read music doesn't mean that you can put your fingers in the right knurled up configuration and in the right spot on a fretboard. So I need to like learn chords, I guess. I know a couple chords. I don't know what they are. Right? I can't. I need the fret. You get it. No, I'm not gifted in any musical department. Jakota, my little brother, though, he can play the piano. Well, he doesn't know how to play the piano, but he can make something that sounds decent. I don't know if it necessarily sounds good. It sounds good to me on the piano. He can play the drums and he can play some guitar. And I think he can also play the harmonica, which I'm assuming would be the easiest of them. And I think he can also play the recorder. But the recorder only sounds good if like people who are good at recorder play recorder. Like, I know it could sound good, but guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a good sounding recorder, go on YouTube and type in amazing recorder player. I don't know what they're called. You're just like, what? Like, there's people who can play like 2 at once and they're like, that sounded more like terrible flute, but like, man, it's incredible. Because like, if you guys remember music class, I never had the play recorder. I played the freaking, xylophone. Because we needed some people because in our class or whatever, so it was like part of the curriculum to learn how to play that freaking, I don't know what that is, parrot whistle. That's a terrible instrument. And, but also, the school had to supply the old recorders, or your parents had to buy them. But since they gave some of the recorders for free, parents were like, yeah, you gave Johnny a recorder. I'm not buying him one so he can bring that home and play like shit in my living room. No thanks. Get him to play the freaking glockenspiel or something. So I played the, what do you call it? Xylophone. I played the wood one, mostly. I don't know what the different ones are called. I played the one that was like this big or so, right? And that was so easy, but we never played complicated music. What was I saying? I don't even remember what my point was. Afternoon, Josh. Hello, Glennis? The recorder lessons in 6th grade. If you can read, you can sing karaoke. Karaoke is one of the most awful things ever invented. Especially at bars. So I don't go to the bar too often because I don't drink. But if I'm invited to hang out, I will go. But if it's karaoke, I will not go. Because I hate it. Because when people can't sing, to me it's not fun. Maybe if I was hammered, it would be fun. But to me, I just hear this terrible noise. I'm just like, why would you do this? Can you hear you? You don't sound good at all. I used to work with this guy. And and he loved karaoke. And he would practice at work. I worked at a donair shop, okay? And this guy, yeah, this guy would, okay, so I can't sing at all, okay? But I know I sound better than this guy, okay? And I really like Johnny Cash, so every once in a while, I would just, like, if I opened up the pizza oven and it was hot, I'd be like, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire. I'd probably usually say like something about the oven. I'd probably say the freaking oven, the freaking oven. And then this guy would be like, oh, singing? All right. And it burns, burns, burns. And I'd be like, dude, stop. You're ruining my terrible singing. Do not sing. You can't sing at all. And he would be like, ha, ha, ha. I'd be like, no, I'm serious. Stop. You're hurting children. Stop. I wouldn't actually say that, but he was awful. Awful. Like, I'm not good, but I'm not that bad. Well, I am bad, but not as bad as that guy. My son doesn't sing, but plays a lot of instruments. He was in a band in his younger years. You know who can sing? I don't know if we have a moderator on, but Matthew is our moderator most of the time, or at least he used to be. Currently, he is working on a new album. I don't know if he's still working on it, but anyway, he was. And that guy can sing good. Of course, if you don't like the type of music he plays, then maybe you would disagree. But he's got some good vocal discipline, in my opinion. I'm just like, what the hell? Dude, because if you hear this guy's voice, like his regular talking voice, you're like, oh, okay, he sounds like a New Yorker type guy. Probably is just a regular dude. And then he sings like a freaking buff angel. I'm just like, what the hell? That's you? I'm like, that's not you. He's like, what are you talking about? No, he doesn't sound like that. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's the voice I know, not the freaking good music. Let me just re-water up here, get some good water. My son doesn't sing, but plays a lot of instruments. Oh, I already read that. Drunk people are the best singers, laughing at least to themselves. They're not even to themselves. They can't be. If they're really drunk, it's worse. Because to me, it's not at all funny, and oftentimes they think they're being funny. And I'm just like, ugh, it's terrible. Terrible. But if they're having fun, then good. I'm glad. Because I can leave, right? That's my choice to stay there or not stay there, right? So, I don't care if they do it. I just think they shouldn't do it. My sister can play music by ear. I struggle to play the fool. Ha. Neither of us can sing though. Nice. Hubby loves to sing as well. He's always singing or humming. You know what's awesome? When people can hum like that melodic, like angelic. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I can't do it, so I can't even begin to mimic it. But like there's this certain way that people can hum, and it's just like, dude, that sounds so good. You should be an angel. You should play an angel in the movie. Play your own. You know, when there's like angelic or whatever music. Also people who can whistle good. And I'm not talking about people who can whistle loud. I'm talking about like people who can whistle tunes. Enya? Frick, I love Enya. My dad could whistle like a beautiful instrument. See, that shit is awesome. I remember my principal could whistle like a freaking, like, you're like, what is that? Is someone playing like a CD over the, what do you call it, intercom thing? Of some like birds? Not birds, like birds but better? This guy who's just freaking whistling like he's... Do shepherds whistle? I was going to say like a shepherd, but I don't know if shepherds whistle. I don't know why I would even think that. But anyway, he could whistle good. Whistling is a lost art. My dad used to whistle, drove me crazy. Hate whistling. Oh, do you hate all whistling even if it sounds good? You're just like, nah, I'm over it? Or do you hate it because you just don't like the sound of whistling? Kind of like... People don't like the sound of banjos, even if someone can play the banjo good. You're just like, dang, 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 nope, stop. And they was like, oh, I just wanted to play you a little ditty. And then you're like, stop, don't call it a ditty, call it garbage. Don't play that instrument. Doesn't sound good, even if you can play it good. Have you heard guys on YouTube do Hotel California make instruments with the voice? Cool. I don't know. Rachel says I can whistle a little. Well, you can sing good, so I can imagine that you could whistle decent too. Son loves to sing and sings all the time and doesn't even realize it. Oh, okay. Growing up, we weren't allowed to whistle in the house. Neither was I. Hey, there's Gapwing. Oh, that would have been a perfect shot too. Question, you still have the plywood worktops you made in a vlog in the kitchen, trying to catch a glimpse of them in the background to see. I do! And they are still holding up almost perfectly fine. I'll do a follow-up video because that's my most viewed video. So I'll make a companion video to it because it's been over a year and they're fine. I remember people saying, yeah, that's going to last a week. And then people telling me, they're like, yeah, try opening up a, what did they say? This one guy said, try smacking a can or something against the edge. And I was like, why would I do that? Maybe that's a thing that people do who cook. I don't know. But I did it. I should have filmed it. But I did it. I took a can and I was just like, I was like, okay. And now what? I was like, what do you mean? People don't really watch, I mean, people still don't really watch the videos for what they're worth. You know, I'll explain something in them and they'll be like, yeah, but what about this? And I'm like, did you not hear me say it was temporary? We needed a countertop. We're going to get new ones at some point when we do our freaking cabinets. Yeah, but what about when you smack a can over it? Why would I smack a can over it? Smack a can over it, nothing happens. Okay, that was weird, but nothing happened. Nothing happened to my son. It still happens though. That's why I explain so much stuff in my videos. Not always, but where I will put in details that don't, like the last video. How many people suggested that I do rain collection? And in the video, I made sure that I said, can't wait till I have rain barrels. And people still said it anyway. I'm like, well, you're not watching, or you don't care, you just want to say something, or maybe you missed it. There's that too. Or maybe you commented too early. One thing that I was also going to include is that we're going to need to build a trellis system or whatever for the peas and beans. And I forgot to mention it, and I thought I was going to get a shitload of comments, but no one did. Well, actually one person did, but that's it. Or there could have been others that I missed, but I only noticed one. Hello Karen, things are good. Oh shoot. Everyone seems to have an opinion whether it's welcome. I welcome all opinions, but if you have a suggestion that I already address, it's just a little annoying, unless you have a way to expand, or if you can give me something from your own personal experience on how to make things work in like a more efficient manner, right? I'm totally open to that kind of stuff. Hey guys, did you know bamboo, you can like suck, like if I put this end in like some water, I'm not gonna put it in my dishwater obviously, but you can like suck liquids through it like a straw. Pretty cool actually. My dad wasn't superstitious. I don't know what the deal was with him. What? What does that have to do with anything? I can only whistle breathing in, but can't breathing out like normal people. I can breathe in whistle and breathe out whistle, but I can do it better breathing in, and I don't sound good whistling. It's just to make the noise. You're rocking that porn stash. Thanks, Martin. I see a lavender crowl. Okay. Who cares what others think? I love the way you and Ashley live your life. From Ontario. Well, thank you. Oh, it doesn't matter what people think necessarily. It's just the, if I have something in the video, or, okay, this is an extreme example. When someone says, hey, I didn't watch the video, but, and then put in their suggestion. That's so annoying. Watch the video. Or when people, this is even worse, when people say, I didn't watch the video, what happened to such and such, or what's going on with it? Like when people ask about the light still in the forest, I'm like, well, I made a whole video on it, so watch the video. Even in the video where I give Armando back his arrows, I think I got 2 comments asking, did you ever figure out what the light was? And I'm like, what? I say in this video what it was. I even say spoiler alert. But I don't, yeah. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Or when people ask where the music is from and the link is already in the description. Yeah, if the music is one that I think is of note, then I will put it in the description. Sometimes I forget, but or I just don't know what it is, so I can't. But yeah, I will do that. It's yeah. It's what do you call that? I don't want to sound rude when I reply, but I will usually say, I'll either put a link and I'll say link in the description. But I say that because I want people to just get used to reading the description, because sometimes there's extra stuff in there that adds context to certain events or whatever, right? And sometimes it's just what I'm doing in the video, and then it'll have all the social links or whatever, or links to other people's videos that are in it, or other people's channels. I try to, if someone appears in my video who has social media I think is worth following, or channel, or that I think you guys would like. Or even if I don't think you guys would like it, but maybe you'll want to check it out, I'll put it in there. So if Johnny B appears in a video, I'll put the link to Johnny B's channel. Usually I'll put a link to the video that I made for him. If Dakota's in it, I will post it to his latest project video. If Alex is in it, it usually correlates with the video that, like, because I'll just have, it'll be the same shit, right? And I know some people don't like seeing the more than one perspective, so usually if they've seen his, they won't even check out mine, or vice versa. Probably less so vice versa, but yeah, I'll do that. If Ashley's in it, I will post the links to her Instagram. If, you know, you get it. If someone's in it, I'll post their stuff, usually. If they don't have any stuff, then I don't. But if they do, then I will. Unless I forget. I love Snooter so much. My husband thought it was the worst music ever made. Yeah, it's not a very good song, but it's kind of funny. I was like, what is this? But I kind of like some of his other songs. There's this one where it's called Slash Grandma's Tires. And it's about her being a racist. And frick, it's so funny and clever, but I don't want to put it in anywhere because I don't want anyone to think that I'm calling old people racist. But, but it's funny. You can put a sign in front of someone with the answer and they'll still ask the question. Yeah, I guess so. There's certain people in particular, when I see their comment, sometimes I will just completely ignore it because they do it all the time. And there was certain people who, I think, there was one person in particular who had like 3 or 4 different channels, but I kind of caught on that it was the same person because they had the same terrible spelling. You know how I talk bad? They spell that the way that I can't talk. They spelled that way. And I was like, I think this is the same person because they have the same idiotic statements, like saying that, like, so in my videos when Ashley first started appearing in them, she didn't really like being on them, but so I wouldn't film her intentionally, right? Oh, hey Hannah, how's it going? So I would just, oh, it's buffering. That's annoying that it's buffering. Okay, there is no buffer. Okay, I don't know what that is. Would you be offended if I sent you a postcard from MPLS that says, "Welcome to Minneapolis"? Oh, is that Minneapolis? It was the 3rd precinct on fire. It was made by a local artist after George Floyd died. I wouldn't. Why would I be offended by that? That's a weird question. Is that like? I don't know what you mean. Why would anyone be offended by that? All right, yeah, I don't care. What was I saying before? Shit, now I forget. Must have not been important. All right, see you later, Barbara. Almost done the dishes, guys. I got one more over here, and then I got a few over there. Some person making the same comment, and about Ashley in your. Oh, right. Okay, so Ashley would be in the videos, but I would not intentionally film her. She would just be in it. I would just not make an effort to not show her because she doesn't like being in them. She still doesn't like being in them, but She's more so open to it now because she's more used to it, okay? So people would say, it's so rude of you to be so, like, self-absorbent or like, you know, whatever, and not show your wife, like you want all the attention, like you're a narcissist or whatever, right? And then, so my response would be like, stop trying to tell my wife to be in videos because you have a hard-on for her, or whatever I would say, right? And this person, like anytime I would say like my house, or like my bathroom, or like my yard, or my neighbor, or my whatever, right? Singular, they would say like, oh, there was a dog in my yard. There is not. Or maybe there was. I don't know. That was weird. They would put like the asterisk, which is like, for those of you who don't know, that would be like if you like that could be for like a correction or whatever. You can put an asterisk and then the word, and then she would put like, or it could be for an action, like if you're like typing like shoots gun, and then an asterisk, you could have like closes eyes, right? It's supposed to show the action, or it could be like whatever, right? Anyways, so this was for like correction, and she would, I think it was a female, would always say hour, and at first I didn't get it. I was like, what is that? Hour, but they kept saying it on everything, and then finally I figured it out. I was like, oh, every time I say my this or my that, because then she started saying our bathroom or whatever it was, and I was just like, are people that fragile? Like Ashley would not care about that at all. I could even take her car and call it my car. Like she has her own car, right? And I could be like, okay, I'm gonna take my CRV to the grocery store or whatever, right? She would never be like, pardon me, it's actually mine or ours. Well, what a freaking wet napkin you gotta be to care about those things. But whatever. Whatever. I would like show her, or she would show me. Ashley would show me. She'd be like, look at this. And she would like, we would be like, yeah, that's so weird. What the hell's this person's problem? That doesn't even make any sense. But I don't know. People do it to Alex all the time too, when they're like, what does your wife think about this? Don't you think he would have talked to her about it if it's something that's a consequence to both of them? Or if it's only a consequence to Alex? It doesn't matter what the other person thinks because it doesn't affect them. Blows my mind. People thought I was stupid for getting this old ass truck. They're like, what does Ashley think about it? Who cares? It doesn't matter. But she doesn't care. Because why would she? I can get an old ass truck if I want. It doesn't affect her at all. So, if you're one of those people who thinks it matters when it's of no consequence, doesn't harm them in any way, you need to change that. Because that is what? That's weird. That's like weird. That's like the type of weird when people are like, happy wife, happy life. Like, happy life, happy life. Don't intentionally make your significant other or anyone miserable by restricting them for no reason. That's such a silly way to live. And Ashley would never do that. And I would never do that to her either. That's so strange to even, like, how would you be excited to go home every day, assuming you don't work at home? I work mostly at home, so that statement is kind of weird to use. But how would you feel walking from your shop to your house every day if you were just going to be like, wow, I wonder what my wife's not going to let me do today? Like, that seems like a miserable existence to me. And if I was like that to her, that would be a miserable existence to her. And I don't know how that would make me feel better. Dumb. So dumb. If you have a problem with what someone else is doing and it doesn't actually bother you or doesn't affect you in a negative way, like, what is going on in your mind? Okay, we got a couple more here. We got 4, I think 4 only. Nope, we also have a mug. You're the Suki to my Lorelai. Does anyone watch this show? I forget what it's called, but Ashley loves this show. Oh, there's a tea bag in it. Okay. Gilmore Girls is what it's called. Building it in the apartment. That person is projecting, plain and simply. Yawn. Yawn, that's perfect. That was perfect. Yawn with the asterisk. That's perfect. That's hilarious. I tell my husband is my... missed it. Some people ask questions that are too personal. Well, if the person's genuinely curious as to what their, my wife or anyone's wife thinks about something that's happening, that's one thing. But usually people are asking it in a condescending manner. Condescending might not be the right word, but like in a, like they're like, you're doing X? What does your wife think about that? How could you do that to her? Why are you so selfish? That's basically what they're saying oftentimes when they ask that question, which I think is disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful to assume that you're disrespecting someone for your own, so if someone thinks I'm being disrespectful to Ashley by doing, whatever, right? For anyone to think that I would intentionally want to cause discomfort to anyone, doesn't even have to be my wife, for the sake of like some sort of personal gain or comfort or whatever, it's like, what the hell do you like? That's like an attack on someone's character, because I don't want anyone to be put off by what I do. If they are based on their own insecurities, that's on them. But like, just in like if I was trying to be, an asshole basically for the sake of being an asshole, I don't want anyone to think that about me, because that's not what I'm doing. Now, people can misinterpret, but oftentimes people are looking to be that, offended, I guess. Hannah says, thank you guys so much for something. I don't know what. What's going on, Hannah? Did you say something? Or maybe everyone's saying hi? I don't know what's happening. Hi from Germany. Just got done with my dishes. Hello, Judy. Goodness, why are people so critical? I don't know. You can be critical. I think it's important to be critical of things to a reasonable degree, but I think it's not foolish, a waste of your own time to be critical of someone's actions that have no negative consequences to any. Now, if I did something stupid where I was like people always tell me about my seatbelt. I don't wear a seatbelt because I don't like wearing a seatbelt. I get it. People are going to tell me to wear my seatbelt. It's annoying because I know that it's safer to wear a seatbelt. I'm not pretending that I'm going to be fine if I get in a, like a head-on collision or something. I know it's going to suck and I could die. I could die without the seatbelt too, but I'm more likely to get bit by a wasp than and die from that than get in a car accident, based on the amount of wasps that are around me. I don't know if those statistics are actually accurate, but I'm just saying, like, you can die from a lot of things. I'm not looking to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to get in a car accident. I know that not all car accidents are going to be my fault, and someone else could have an error and crash into me, and it would be whatever. I get all those things. I don't like wearing a seatbelt. I know people are going to tell me to wear a seatbelt, and sometimes I'll just try to be funny with it, and I'll be like, I'll wear one when I have to, or I wear one. Yeah, usually I say I wear one when I have to, or whatever, and then that implies that there's an annoying chime if you don't wear a seatbelt, or there's a cop or whatever, right? I'm just trying to be funny with it. I know that people care, or at least pretend to care, or some people are just self-righteous and blah blah. Like, there's people who have commented that they agree with people getting fined for silly whatever infractions and stuff, which I think is ridiculous. But here's an example. Someone I am not a fan of photo radar, right? And and this girl who I know said, don't speed and you won't get a ticket. Simple as that. The point of photo radar is said to, what do you call it? It's so that it's to incentivize you not to speed. There's a better way to say that. But anyway, so she's like, follow the rules and you won't get a ticket. The next day, this was on her Facebook status. And the next day, literally the next day, she ran a stop sign and got a $500 ticket for it. And she did a rolling stop. And then she posted about it and how that was bullshit because there was no one else around or something like that. And I was just like, don't run stop signs and you won't get a ticket. So silly rules should not be, they should not even be enacted. So going back to being critical, when you're critical of things that don't matter, it's a waste of everyone's time. If you're critical of things that do matter, it can be constructive and therefore helpful. But anyway. Oh, Hannah is sick. That's what's going on. Get well, Hannah. Hannah Banana. Listening to your common sense is a joy. Please hit the thumbs up. Thanks, Rachel. I tell my husband is my husband, not my dad. We don't need permission from each other to do things. Exactly. That's so weird. I mean, there's certain things where it makes sense. Like, hey, I'm going to buy something that costs 50 grand, but not even 50 grand, even 1 grand. And if you don't have the money and you're saving together, not even 1 grand, 500 bucks, 100 bucks. If you're saving for something and you want to do, you can be like, hey, I need to use this. This is something that's both of ours. I need to use this for something, this, whatever. And these are my justifications. There you would maybe, that's not really asking for permission. That's basically just respecting someone else who's on whatever you're doing together, right? But if I'm like, hey, I'm going to go buy this truck and not that truck, and she says no, I would be like, well, that doesn't matter to me because it doesn't matter to you. She would never do that. She wouldn't be like, no, you're not buying that. It just blows my mind that some people are like that. Now, there are probably some instances where that would actually make sense. Like if I like if I bought something that was like $1 million and didn't work, that would make sense. But I'm talking with like some sort of, obvious like leniencies that you could buy some stupid stuff. I'm trying to be, reasonable with my conclusions here. Ashley is such a gracious lady, Josh. Your respect for each other shows. Well, I'm glad. It's effortless though. There's no I don't know. If she ever feels disrespected or anything like that, I will make sure she knows what my standings are and all that stuff. I mean, it happens very rarely because she knows I'm not like that. And I know that she's not like that. But if something does happen, you just say, hey, no, I didn't mean it like that. This was a spur of the moment. This was a once in a lifetime opportunity. This was a this was a that. I had to this, I had to that. Like, I bought this $1,000 piece of art like a few weeks ago. And she was like, why would you spend $1,000 on that? And then I was like, oh, because of all of these reasons. And she was like, oh, okay. We could have used that $1,000 for the floor though. And I'm like, yeah, I know. But like, I didn't want anyone else to buy this. And it wasn't 30. I forget how much they were selling it for. Like 30. It was almost 4 grand. I still have I have the sale price tag. But anyways, then she was like, oh. She wasn't happy, but she understood why I did it. And she was like, well, this is something that he won't be able to get again. There's only one in the world, and it's part of history in a sense. And it could mean more in the future based off of what I do for a living and so on and so forth and blah, blah, blah. Right? Also, I didn't take money out of our food out of our mouths or heat out of our home or anything like that. If it was something that was going to break us, I wouldn't have done it because it wouldn't have been worth it. Or maybe it would have been. I don't know. But you guys kind of get what I'm saying, I hope. What the hell did we cook in this thing? I'm going to do the age-old trick. An old Indian trick here. I'm going to soak it. I gotta change this water again. Dang. Dang, son. Let me just fill this up with some water. Okay. Did you hear about the Italian artist that sold an invisible sculpture for $18,000? I did. That doesn't make any sense to me that anyone would buy that, but they did, and congratulations to the artist. You tricked someone very good, and it was very lucrative. Why do you always have so many dishes? Are you cooking a lot? Well, this is dishes from yesterday and this morning. So yesterday's dinner dishes. It's not that many dishes, is it? One plate. One of these onion things. One mug, a travel mug, another mug, one pot, 2 pots, 3 pots, a mixer thing, mixer bowl, strainer for salad, some salad, banana bread, some cutlery. There's not that much. Maybe I'm just taking forever. Oh, and a pizza baker sheet thing. And then 2 cookie sheets for banana bread and those chicken things that you get at Costco. I don't know. I'd say this is a normal amount of dishes for yesterday and today. Although the pizza thing I think is from the day before, and that's probably just because we didn't put it in the dishwasher. I had a friend that would always have to check with her husband to see if she could do something with him. Yeah, it's so weird. So weird. So weird. Now, one thing that we do is like we let each other know usually, hey, I'm gonna go hang out with whoever. And that's just so the other person's not like, hey, usually they're home right now. I wonder what's going on. You know, that's just, but I wouldn't be like, hey, Ashley, could I please go hang out with my friends? Like she would be, I should do that. I'll do that on camera one day. And she'll be like, what? She'll probably start laughing and think I'm trying to do something weird. That would make her suspicious. She would be like, what friends? Like, she would be like, what do you mean? Are these people like into like nefarious activities? Like, she would be like, what the hell? Why would you ask that? It's sad to say there are a lot of controlling and abusive people out there. Too bad they can't conceive of how happy they could be. Exactly. Whoops. Exactly. I don't understand it either. Actually, doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would put up with nonsense. No, probably not. But there's much nonsense that goes on. Like, we don't really have time for nonsense in the sense of interrupting our goals and stuff, so it doesn't really go on too much. She used that as an excuse to not do things, help me when I needed it, as opposed to expecting me to follow her like a puppy. What? I don't know what's happening. I only get offended if someone says something directly to me. Other than that, well, it doesn't worry me. Thought it seemed strange that you don't thank you both. Thought it seemed strange that you don't thank you both. What? I don't know what that means. You have the right attitude for a long relationship. I have been married for 43 million years because we are respectful. Shit, I lost it. Oh. The seatbelt thing. The way you live your life is your personal choice. It's the law here, and my dad's vehicle has an annoying chime when my brother or I get in the car with him. As grown adults, he says, you pay your own ticket. Of course you pay your own ticket. There's consequences to your actions, and if you're not willing to pay tickets, you should wear your seatbelt. I've only gotten one seatbelt ticket, and of course I tried to get out of it. But like, I'm not going to be like, fuck. That was close. Screw you, officer. That was very close. But you know what I mean, right? Like, I don't think he should enforce that law. I think it's stupid that he does or she does. But it is part of their job, and they are able to enforce that. It's a stupid law. Stupid. Shouldn't be a law. But it is a law, and I am victim to its consequences every once in a while. Well, that one only... I think I've only gotten one seatbelt ticket. I've gotten many speeding tickets. See, but I'm not an idiot, so I don't speed where it's going to endanger other people. Right? I have before when I first got my license. I was like, oh, got my license? Also got this really heavy right foot. I do this still. Every new car I get, I always govern them out. I want to see how fast it can go. And, you know, you do that on the highway. You don't do that in the city. That's stupid, right? If you're going to crash into someone else, you're an idiot. Or if you have a chance of crashing into someone else, you're an idiot. But if you're just going to be racing, you know, someone who's beside you who's also racing, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think it shouldn't be illegal because, you know, that's a safety thing. And if you get caught, then you get caught and you whatever. But if it's a seatbelt or freaking, I don't know, like someone in the comments, I think I was going to mention this earlier, when I saw that bylaw officer who was giving that person a ticket, someone in the comments said, I agree with people who get in fines. If you can't follow the rules, you deserve a ticket or something like that. This person doesn't get the point that I was making, maybe. That shouldn't be a rule. You shouldn't have to be 4 inches from the curb when you're in a neighborhood that has a huge roundabout, and also all the other cars were parked about the same as this person. So use your, what do you call it? Use your judgment? That doesn't make sense. If you see something that, like, some things shouldn't be black and white. Now, if you're in the city on a street that has street parking, be as close to the curb as you can. But if you're in a neighborhood that has massively wide roads, if you're not this far away from the curb, oh well. Now, I always park as close to the curb. Usually I park on the curb by accident, but you can get a ticket for that as well. But that shouldn't, maybe that should be ticketable because it causes damage if you do it too much. But if you're this far away from the curb and you have like 10 meters of road, then you should be fine. You know, you should be able to be, as a person who writes tickets, be like, oh, this guy obviously didn't try to correct it because there's a million miles of road here that people can easily get by. Okay, I will move on to someone else who is being careless with their parking and doesn't give a shit about other people who he or she shares the road with. So I'm going to ticket those people instead. But this was a bylaw officer and they will ticket you for anything. I remember I got a ticket from a bylaw officer for illegal parking. I parked on a sidewalk at the mall where there was dozens of other people parked, but when I came out, everyone was gone except for me. But there was no parking. This was during Christmas a couple years ago. So I knew they gave me a ticket. I tried to get to my car before he put it on my wiper, but I couldn't get there in time. So bylaw officer has to, as far as I know, has to, you can't get the ticket in the mail, I don't think. A police officer or a peace officer can, but a bylaw officer, as far as I know, has to serve you the ticket by putting it, you know, in your hands or in the wiper. Anyways, I've ran from so many of them. Well, a few of them, not so many. I don't want to sound like some delinquent. Anyways, I try to get to there, and they get it there before I get there. And I'm like, damn it! And I'm like, okay, well, I have to pay this. And he was parked behind me on the sidewalk, by the way. He could have been on the road. There was tons of road, or whatever, parking lot that he could have been on. But every parking spot was filled. all the overflow. I like drove around for a while, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna park on this sidewalk with all these other people. When I get out, no one else is on the sidewalk. I was like, how the frick did you know that this freaking security bylaw officer was gonna be here? So, anyways, I just floored it. This is stupid. See, I could have gotten a ticket for this, but they didn't, because obviously they couldn't give it to me because I was off the property right away, West Edmonton Mall property. Anyways, I floored it and it spit all these rocks all over them. Not proud of it, but I was kind of mad because, again, they should have used their prerogative, I don't know, whatever it's called, and been like, oh, there's no parking here, and he's not causing any damage, he's not blocking anything, the sidewalk is not for mobility reasons, it's just a curb. He can park there, and even if it was, you can still get around easily with a wheelchair, with anything, whatever, right? So people who park in handicap spots and stuff like that, I think they deserve to get tickets. That's not a stupid rule. Now, if I was infringing on anyone's, whatever, mobility issues or whatever like that, I would understand, but I wasn't. So, stupid rule, shouldn't be a rule, but it's money, so they give the ticket. You know what I mean? I was probably making a point that's different. Oh, yeah. No, lost it. Ringtone is a recording of my husband saying, "Answer the phone, woman." Feminists would freak out. I don't think like that's funny, and I've made that same joke because I'm trying to be funny. But if someone actually thought I was a sexist, then I would take the time to be like, no, I'm not a sexist, because I don't actually believe that women are lesser or whatever, right? So, but some people just love to hate you, and if they have some justification, no matter how small, they don't have to listen to your reasoning. You've already done the bad thing, and I think that's a poison to society. But some people have been hurt by men or by some other group or whatever, and I totally understand in some cases where people would be of little patience towards stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you. That's terrible. That shouldn't have happened to you. You don't take this as a joke because to you it hasn't been a joke, and I respect that. And if I'm too fragile to respect someone's, whatever happened to them to a reasonable degree, then I'm the asshole, not them. Those onion things make my onions go moldy? Really? They've never done that to me. When I had babies, I really appreciated my husband asking if he, that's hot. If he would do something for himself, but that's the difference than when it's just, well, that's different. A responsibility to your children, and if you just expect all the work with your child, then that's freaking rude as hell. Like if I had kids and I was just like, well, that's a woman's job, so I'm gonna go do whatever. Like, what the hell? That's so messed up. I wouldn't do that. Now, if we had like some sort of, this doesn't even make sense, but if we had like some agreement where she was like, hey, I'm always gonna take care of this baby, go do whatever you want all the time, I probably still wouldn't. Like, that's weird. I'd be like, well, that's my baby. I don't want a dingo taking it. So I'm gonna be here at least sometimes. Like that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. That's different than restricting someone just for the sake of restricting them from doing something that they want to do because for whatever reason, usually no reason, you don't want them to. When people, like, same with when people do that to their kids. When people do that to their kids, where they're like, hey, can I go to such and such a place? No? Oh, why not? Because I said so. That's not a reason. That's freaking rude. And yeah, kids should listen to you, and you probably know better than your own kids about whatever. But kids aren't necessarily the stupidest people on the planet. They can listen to reason. I mean, at a certain age anyways, at least. If you tell someone because all the time, because I said so, I was like, so for no reason other than the fact that you want me to be unhappy. Okay, cool. Right? That doesn't make any sense. It's not helpful to anyone. It makes you resentful as a child. And then when it comes to things later on in life, you're just like, well, I'm not going to do that. Well, why not? Because I said so. It's so tempting to do that to people, you know? But not constructive. Discretion. That's the word I was looking for. Did I say that already? Matthew. Suddenly the picture is just pixels. Anyone else with the blurred picture? Not me. It's called radio frequency ablation. It's for chronic lower back pain. I've had 2 work injuries in a major car accident that messed up my back permanently. I thought radio frequency ablation was what I was just talking about. I thought you were like, oh, that's called this, but you're talking about something else. I'm like, oh, crazy. They come up with some weird words for things. But whatever that is, that sucks, and I hope you get better. I don't know if you can get better, but I hope that you can, and I hope you do. Okay. Let's go with this. There we go. Common sense. Do the bottle guys make a commission on tickets? I don't actually know. That's just probably their job. They probably have a quota though. Like, so oftentimes policemen or women will deny, like if you ask them if they have a quota, they will almost, at least here, they will almost always deny it. But they do because that money goes towards, you know, things in your city or to whatever, right? It's like I don't know, whatever it is. It's terrible. Hello, test. Congrats on the Canadian football team. There's like a bunch of Canadian football teams. Did we get a new one? Maybe? Or is there a Canadian football team in the NFL? Or are you talking about the name change? The Edmonton Elks? Maybe? Alex was talking about your Kool-Aid t-shirt and you running through a wall earlier. Yeah, I know. My occipital nerve is on fire. I don't know what that is, but you should put some water on that, bro. Hold on, I gotta see what this was. Man, people who have been in pain for like 30 years? What the heck? That sucks. It's terrible. Feels like electric shocks on the back of my head. What? So does it hurt? Or is it just annoying? Here's how the pay your own ticket works. Car, ding, dad, you pay your own ticket. Car, ding, dad, you pay your own ticket. The whole ride, lol. Oh. Ding, you pay your own ticket. Ding, you pay your own ticket. Ding, you pay your own ticket. Why would you keep listening to that? I always put on my seatbelt when there's the dinging because it's so annoying. The seatbelt ticket is as dumb as pot being illegal here. Yeah, it's stupid. Doesn't make any sense. Banana bread or zucchini bread? Banana bread is 100 times better than zucchini bread, but zucchini bread is not bad as a close fifth. uh, we all know what you bought. Good investment, but we know you would never sell. I would sell it for enough money so that I could go get another one, but I don't plan on selling it. I'm not going to sell it for the sake of getting rid of it. Like, people always ask me if I'm going to sell my Mustang because I never drive it. But the reason why I never drive it is not because it doesn't work or because I don't want to drive it. It's because I'm trying to save some money. My name is Roos. You won the last night. Won the what? Tracy, I'm making banana bread while you do this live. I'm about to add nuts. Just kidding. What am I, an animal? Yeah, when people tell me they put nuts in their banana bread, I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. No, I don't know what's wrong with you. No, there has to be something that they're tasting that I'm not, because to me, it just is awful to put nuts in banana bread. Usually nuts in any dessert is bad. Like we had this ice cream cake the other day. I'm a Dairy Queen guy, not a marble slab guy. Marble slab actually makes some of the worst, not worst tasting, because it doesn't taste bad. It doesn't taste like anything. But this one had nuts in it, and I was like, what is this? They made ice cream taste bad. It was a turtle, like turtles, you know, like the chocolate bar or whatever they are. It's not really a chocolate bar, but it was a turtle's cake, and it had like, so what are those, walnuts or whatever? I think they're walnuts. Walnuts don't taste bad, but, and they don't even taste bad in the turtles, but I don't think a turtles is dessert, but ice cream is dessert. Anyways, bad with ice cream. And I don't know if you guys have marble slab where you're from, but I'm assuming you do if you're in the US or Canada. Or I don't know if it's Canadian or American or somewhere else. But anyways, marble slab, if you don't know, is like an ice cream shop. I've never been in it, so I don't actually know what they sell besides cakes. I'm assuming cones, but I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, their ice cream cakes, every single one that I've had, they just are so tasteless. It's like you're just eating cold. You're not eating, you're eating cold. You're eating cold. It doesn't taste like anything. Even if it has flavor. Now, if it has like the syrup stuff, like the whatever it is, I don't know. Or it has whipped cream on it or whatever the heck it is, or icing, then it tastes like something, but only if you get a bite with that. For some reason, to me, it's just totally bland. It's like I would rather eat sour cream, which would not be that good. Sour cream is good, but I mean, you got to have that with something else. Anyways, I like Dairy Queen because it actually tastes like something. It's so good, and it's considerably cheaper. It's just way better. It's got the fudge, it's got the cookie crumble or whatever, it's got chocolate, and it's got vanilla. And then if you like that, whatever they make the pictures with, I don't like that. And I also don't like the icing, so I always take that off. But it's just way better. Way better. But anyway, the nuts ruined this cake that was already not good. That was neutral. It was neutral. It was like eating cold. Like, not like eating snow, not like eating ice. It was like eating cold. That's all it was like. It was like, you know, when you touch a cold piece of metal in the winter? That's what it was like. It was like eating that feeling. Not good, not bad. Completely neutral. And then they ruined it with nuts. Anyway, when people put nuts in banana bread and they're like I remember someone gave me banana bread and they're like, yeah, and it has walnuts in it. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't want that. Chocolate chips or nothing. I prefer it with chocolate chips, but if it has nothing, that's good too. But if you like that, good on you. You can tolerate more food and you would starve way after I would. Sounds like Cold Stone here in the US. Okay. Man, my head hurts so bad it's gone this. I've gotten the shake. Oh, that's terrible. I've never had anything like that, except for maybe when I was recovering from carbon monoxide poisoning. That was probably, that would be, if I had to experience all the pain I've felt before and I could choose one not to feel, that would be the one that I would choose not to feel. I wish I knew what Shkoda was planning to paint next. I bet you know. I don't know. I know that he wants to get a canvas, but that's all I know. Son-in-law just brought me a Dairy Queen M&M Blizzard. Blizzards are good. The football game in Chicago. We don't have M&M Blizzards here, so you must be in the US. We have Smartie Blizzards, which are not what you guys have as Smarties. They're kind of like M&Ms, but they're flatter. And they don't taste the same either. It's like a different kind of chocolate. Probably it is not real ice cream. I think that's their whole deal is that it is real ice cream. It melts so freaking quickly. I think it is real ice cream. I'm guessing you wouldn't like maple walnut ice cream. Yeah, probably not. Dairy Queen ice cream cakes are the best. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and I have fibromyalgia now too. Okay, I forget what that is, but I heard that it sucks. Despite worshiping Dairy Queen, I do not endorse their cakes. Cakes. Ages ago in New Jersey, I had a fresh ice cream cake from Carvel's that was so, so good. I don't know what Carvel's is, but if it's as good or better than Dairy Queen, then fantastic. I feel like Marble Slab is like, they like, it's more pretentious than Dairy Queen in a way. So I feel like people just get tricked into buying, like people who buy Gucci slippers. Like, why would you buy $1,000 slippers? It doesn't make any sense. You're not even going to hardly wear them unless you want to show other people that you have Gucci slippers. You know, you're just tricked into buying it. They're not more comfortable. I don't even think they're made better. They're probably made the same or worse than like your regular, like, you know, Bed Bath and Beyond slippers or something. They're just slippers that have, what does Gucci have? A G? I can't remember. I remember my boss man bought me a Gucci belt one time and I was like, oh cool, Gucci belt. Dude, the thing is a piece of shit. I was like, this is Gucci? I was like, maybe this is a fake Gucci. But like, no, it's real. And I was like, this is a terrible quality. This doesn't make any sense. However, I was using it as a work belt. So that probably didn't help. Probably if you just wear it as a regular belt, it would be fine. Josh doesn't like much. He's an alien. No, I like stuff that's good. Cake is cake. Ice cream cake is the work of the devil. Uncle Gravy, dude. What? No way. Most cake to me does not taste good, especially if it has like if it's packed with too much sugar. Probably ice cream cake has more sugar, but somehow it's just better than cake that's made out of bread or whatever that is. My slippers come from the dollar store. And then you draw the G on it, right? And you're like, Gucci! We have Happy Cow ice cream where the cows are milked, processed and made into ice cream right there and sold in a building right there on the farm. I've had that before, and that just tastes like ice cream. Just tastes good. Marble Slab tastes like nothing. Tastes like cold. You know when you watch A Christmas Story and you see that kid put his tongue on the pole? That's what it tastes like. It doesn't taste like the pole. It tastes like when you watch that kid put his tongue on the pole. And you're like, oh, nothing. Okay. Sorbet? I don't know what that is. Fibromyalgia, you are in pain all over and your nerve endings shoot pain in different spots. It's awful. And what is it caused from? Is that like a neurological thing? That sucks. Hopefully, like, what's his name? Elon is working on that Neuralink to help fix I know some people think that this is a slippery slope because of the other shit that you can do with it. But when it comes to like the what do you call it? Like the getting rid of like brain shit that's bad. Hopefully it works. Like I remember like wow, like 10 or 12 years ago, I remember watching this video of this dude with like these wires on his head and he had no arms and he is making this robot arm grab an apple or something. I can't, or maybe a balloon or something. I can't remember, but like his brain was controlling this robot arm that was not attached to him and it was like grabbing, I think it was grabbing like a balloon or something. I can't remember. Did anyone else see that? Saw a long time ago. They don't know. I get my slippers from I've never had slippers, so although my mom made me slippers before when I was a kid. I get my slippers from Ocean State Job Lot. I don't know what that is. They only last a few months, but they're only $5, so I'll buy a few pairs. Susan Dean says, inexpensive as AF. What is? What did you say before? Marble slab is pretty, but tasteless. You agree! Is it expensive? I've never bought anything there. I never will, because it's just not worth it to me. But I don't know how expensive it is. But yeah, I'm glad you agree, because I like everyone else. They were like, "This is good cake." I was like, "What are you tasting? Like, are you only tasting when maybe you like the nuts? So when you bite into the nuts, you're like, this is delicious cake." Do you mean these are good nuts? These are good nuts? Or do you mean this is good cake? Because I think you're lying because you spent so much on this cake, I guess. I don't know. All this talk of ice cream is making me want to go get a Dr. Pepper shake from Whataburger. Oh, we don't have that here, but I heard that's a good place. No. You have every right to complain. They're awful. I just have the added part. The only thing that bothers me is when someone tells me it's just a headache. Get over it. Getting over a headache sucks too. Like just a regular headache is not. No one's like, oh yeah, dude, I got a headache. You won't believe my luck. I got a headache. Like no one's like excited to get a headache. So telling someone to get over a headache is kind of stupid because first of all, you can't really. Like, have you guys ever gotten like a water headache? That's like when you are dehydrated. I should go get some water. When you're dehydrated, you'll get a headache. And if you're in like a normal first world position where water is more or less abundant, and you neglect hydrating yourself, you will get a headache. And when you get this headache, you're like, oh, this is a water headache. I should drink some water. And then I will guzzle like, this is like a liter, I think, or a quart. Hold on a second. Sheena's barking at something. Or maybe it's a liter and a half. I don't know. The lines are gone now. But anyway, I'll drink like 4 of these and it won't go away. And I'm like, no. So if I can complain about just a regular headache, it's just a constant, just a dull pain. Like if someone told me to get over that, I'd be like, how? I've been drinking a gallon of water to get rid of it. I know it's from dehydration, but somehow my brain's like, nah, dude. We're gonna stay here. Yeah, that's so terrible. When people tell you to get over something that they haven't experienced, like It doesn't even have to be about like physical pain. It could be like, you know, like like if you have no money and they're like, "Oh, we'll get a job." Oh, thanks, Einstein. I'll just go get a job and all my problems are going to go away. Like it takes some time. And it's not even that people are complaining all the time, right? About their about their situation. But if someone gives you advice where the advice is, "Hey, go do this thing," whatever. Or when they like compare themselves to you where they're like, "I had to do this my whole life. You can do it too." Without even yeah, maybe, but don't you think they would have thought of that? like, like what? Captain Obvious over here with all the world's solutions. You should run for president, Bob. Not Bob, but like, what's his name? Dwayne. And then Dwayne goes and runs for whatever, runs for mayor, and then everyone's like, "Hey, Dwayne, why don't you fix all the roads?" And he's like, "It's not that easy." Ah, get over it. Like you'd be anyway. I would rather get Moose Tracks ice cream at the grocery store than pay so much for those places. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds awesome. You can make pretty good money taste testing. They must have not paid the marble slab people because they were like, taste less, not tasting less, no taste at all. It's so. I was like, man, is my tongue smooth? Do I not have any taste buds? I would listen to this podcast about about this guy who, what happened to him? Did he get like shot in the head or something? Or he got shot or something. Maybe he didn't get shot. Maybe he had a stroke. I can't remember, but he had to be on the tube for like a long time and all his taste buds disappeared. So when he could finally, he wanted to eat this burger and he couldn't wait till he could eat solids. Chikota's here. He couldn't wait to eat solids. So he's like not saving up, but like anticipating his first burger, right? And he's like, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm going to get this. Hold on, I'm just going to let you know. Anyway, all excited to eat this burger, and then there's no like not sensation. There's no taste, no jubilation in. He's like, wait, is this marble slab? He's probably like, what the frick is going on here? This doesn't taste like anything. Anyways, he had no taste buds, and that's what I feel like when I eat marble slab. Although I could eat the stuff that's on, or I could taste the stuff that's on it, just not the actual ice cream. Anyways, that would suck. Uh, Poor Bob. Yeah, I said Bob, and then I was like, I thought of Bob the Bottle Man, and I'm like, no, I don't want him to think that I'm talking about him. Do you carry on with yourself like this when alone? Seems like your thoughts are constant and you get carried away. I need a shop cam to watch you alone perhaps sometime. Oftentimes people will tell me, like, I don't know if I talk to myself when I'm actually alone, but I do talk to myself when I'm with other people. Like, did you guys watch the Potter series? I know Alex talked about or not talked about, but like made a little snippet of me talking to myself. And if you listen closely, you can hear me drop 3 F-bombs, but you have to listen really closely. But I was building the freaking. What is she barking at, Dakota? I'm building the Potter's kitchen, and it's so frustrating because the freaking thing fell off the house, right? So it was crooked. So it was like a big slant. Hold on a second. Sheena just wouldn't stop barking at Dakota for some reason. Is that gap wing right there? No. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm talking to myself about this thing, like where I would just say something like reply to myself. I don't know why I do that. I do that. And when I hire someone who I don't know, like just someone who needs a job or whatever, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna board this ceiling. I need your help with this and blah blah blah, right? Now, it's not this involved area. I don't know why I do it, but then they're like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, oh, no one. Don't worry about me. I'm just talking to myself. And he's like, dude, you're having like full on conversation and it's interesting. And I'm like, what? I remember this guy, we hired him to sand. And he's like, are you talking to anyone here? And I'm like, do you see anyone here? And he's like, no, that's why I'm asking. He's like, I thought I was going crazy. I had horrible migraines for years, and my doctors had me on so many meds. Turns out I was having a reaction to a blood pressure med. They took me off that med, and the headache stopped. Oh, that's good. So hopefully that answers your question, Smurfam. I talk to myself constantly. Also, like I'm a YouTuber, shop with me person while I'm out. I watch too much YouTube, I think. Anyways, talking to yourself is the second sign of madness. The first is when you answer yourself. The first is when you answer yourself. I guess I'm a bit mad. Jacqueline lost 45 pounds, smell and taste gone. Oh, did you get COVID? Second sign of madness is on Mondays. Oh, snap. Hello, JCB0818. That's the person who we're doing the bonsai build. The next episode or installment of the bonsai, building bonsai, she's sending some forks, guys. It's hers. So she's gonna send some forks, unless it doesn't work out for some reason. But once we get the forks, we're gonna do part 7 or 8, whatever it is. I enjoy talking to myself. The only way I can guarantee to have an intelligent conversation. That's funny. Hello, love your art. Well, hello, Polar Bear? Polar? Is that like polar bear, but like Paul? Polar? And then Jacqueline Marie says, yep. Don't know what that is for, but yep. Anyways, guys. Yes, exactly. Polar bear. Polar bear with paws. Because a lot of polar bears have no paws. I don't know if you guys know this, but polar bears, about 70% of polar bears, so the polar bears that you see like in Coke commercials and like in, the Discovery Channel, whatever, the reason, okay, this is crazy. Sorry, Josh, we're all suffering today. Hey, I was gonna say, no worries, I don't care. That's not what I mean. Anyways, polar bears. Polar bears will fish with their paws or whatever, and they'll whatever. Sometimes though, they'll have what are they called? A leopard seal? Are they called a leopard seal? They will chomp, like if a polar bear can't dive into the hole or whatever, a breathing hole, it'll stick its paw in there and it'll try to grab like a baby leopard seal. But when it happens, the mama will sometimes chomp their paws off, their hands. And so they'll have no hands. And then those polar bears, it's like a sped up evolution. When they mate, for some reason, evolutionarily, their cubs they'll be born with no paws. Like, you know, if like the mama bear and the papa bear both have missing paws or whatever, sometimes their cubs will have no paws. They'll be born with no paws. So like 70% or something polar bears, frick. I was lying and I just looked at myself and the story is so ridiculous. I couldn't carry on. Oh, dang. I'll finish the story, but just know that I'm kidding. But the polar bears are born with no paws prematurely. Damn it, I shouldn't have looked at myself. I was like, I can't believe I'm saying this. That's not true. Sometimes polar bears don't have paws because they do get bitten off, but that doesn't make that so their cubs don't have paws. Imagine, that would be insane. I think that probably has happened to like smaller insects and stuff. Not insects, but bugs. Like you'll see like water striders. They have 4 legs instead of 6 legs, so they're not an insect. They're what's it called? I forget what it's called. What's an insect or a bug called that has 4 legs? Anyways, water striders, if you see them, they're on like on the top of water, right? On ponds and stuff. And the reason why they only have 4 legs, they used to have 6, but these leopard seals came and bit off their legs while they were fishing. That was a stupid joke, but it was perfect. Josh, that is probably a mutation from all the pollution and what they eat. You yelling at me? What is? I started Googling polar bears' paws. No, I think probably most polar bears, just like most humans, are born with all their limbs. I mean, there's probably some mutations and some deformities and stuff, but that's by accident. That's not by design. That was a good setup for the striders having only 4 legs, though. That was the plan all along. It was not, but I thought it was quadruped. Quadruped? That's what it's called? Ben. Ben, are you new, Ben? I don't recognize you, but thanks for being here. Chanel. Why are you yelling? Chanel, I'm going to send out your moons next Monday, I think. Josh, what have you been smoking? Bonnie Oh, I thought it said Bonnie Grass, but it says Bonnie Gas. I was going to be like grass, maybe. But, yeah. Yep, had me there for a minute. Dude, that's so funny. I wish I could have gotten through that. Next time I'm just going to continue. I don't know if you guys can see if you watch it back. I like almost started smiling a few times. I'm just like, trying not to laugh. Okay, guys, how long have we been on? Like 2 hours? Hour and 48 minutes? Hour and 49 minutes? I think that's it for today. We did the dishes. They're all clean. They're drying. You guys hopefully enjoyed my stupid storytelling and whatever. This video is going to be unlisted, but if you want it from the beginning and you can't find it, I will send you the link. You just email me, orderfromjosh@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. This is just filler? Or maybe I'll keep it long. I think people who have siblings have more imagination to fool other people. I never think of stuff like that. Oh, you're a single child. Single child? Only child. Guys, before I go, maybe I'll keep this live. Some people enjoy these. Plus, then I can monetize it. Then I could do this next thing I'm going to talk about. I love the camaraderie. I'm glad. Okay, what do you think about this? Okay, let me bring you on a stroll. Shall I? Shall we? Shall I? We walk into here, right? So you don't really need to know the layout, but maybe you do. Okay, we're gonna go in my bathroom here. Okay, we have this. Man, that's an annoying sound. It does it all the time. We have this window here. It's like those you know, just ugly blocks or whatever. I remember one time someone told me to knock this out because then my neighbors would spy on me taking a shower through this glass. And I was like, first of all, I guess people might do that, but no. Like he would have to walk into my yard and then come over here. That would be so weird. But anyway, we have this glass here, right? We got these plants in here. You guys can't feel it obviously, but it's quite warm in here when the sun is here, because this is southeast facing. Okay, my house is like diagonal to the compass. Okay, like there. Let me see if I can. Ha, that's cool. Okay, so you can see my shop, and then if you go, let's see, right over there is the chicken coop. Okay, so you get what we're saying here. Through this window, like we're gonna keep the glass here, we're gonna keep the shower here, we're gonna keep the bathroom here. Okay, now we go into here. Oh, here's a sneak peek. Here's the door I made for here. Okay, I'm gonna cover this in the next vlog that I do when I get back to building this, probably back in when it gets cold again, because we got outdoor stuff to do. But I put it on here, right? Look, this door is thick, right? It's thick. It's 2 inches thick. It just fits in here, like vacuum suction. Freaking perfect. Anyways, I put it on here. When I put this track in here, I forgot to put regular size screws in there. So it had these little freaking bitch screws. And then when I, like here, it has regular Robbies that are probably this long or maybe longer. But I forgot to put them inside the hole here. And when I opened the door, when I put it in there, I was like, oh yeah, it's so nice. It just fits in there so freaking perfect. And then it was like, boom. I was like, oh, what the heck was that? So then I pull it back out, and it's like, and the floor on the bottom it's different heights, right? Just slightly. So I gotta put in like a trim piece or whatever, so it's all perfect and, you know, something that mom would be proud of. The freaking track broke off the inside, so in there it hangs down. So what I have to do is I have to cut a hole in here, then screw up in there. But then I'm just gonna make a panel, and then my shelving that's gonna go here, that's also gonna act as a ladder to get out through the what you call it, the skylight. Anyway, some of you know about the addition that I'm gonna make out those windows. Well, basically out that window there, but you'll be able to see it out these windows. Okay, so this room here, this closet, is going to turn into a linen closet maybe, or something. I don't know. It's going to be different when I do that addition. That'll be in like 10 years or something when I can afford to do that, but these are just my dreams. We're going to turn this into a door here, but it's going to be hidden behind a like a bookshelf, and it's going to go into outside. Okay, now let me bring you outside. Sorry, this is a terrible explanation, but let me just tell you about this so you can. Oh shoot! Almost dropped you. I did drop you, but I caught you. Okay, then we come out here. We got the window here. So if you can imagine a so from here to here, and probably, okay, you see that right there? A solarium, like a greenhouse solarium, lean-to solarium that's black and glass. Black and glass? Does that make sense? Black and glass. Being like a sitting solarium, so plants, maybe pavers or something, or maybe just grass for a floor. I don't know. It might grow too well in there. I don't know. So I don't know if I'd want to do grass, but that's my idea at some point. But I can do the solarium at any point, because the solarium is still just going to be accessible from outside. But I think it'd be cool to put a door in there. Hey, what's up? What's up, Archie? The cats are totally chill now. Instant purring. They love it here now. Also, hey, if you're on my Patreon and your name is Julie or Julia, you won this, but you haven't emailed me yet, so you should do that probably soon. But anyway, oh, and there's penny loafers. Don't come in, don't come in, don't come in. Okay, they're coming in. So that's my idea for a future project. What do you guys think about that? Lost you again. I'll have to catch up later. Oh, dang it. Don't forget to build my shed for when I visit. Oh, guys. Okay. So this will be in a future vlog, but so that's my neighbor's yard. So the solarium will have this kind of windows. Okay, you see this right over here? That's my neighbor's vehicles and stuff, right? Just coming further over here. Wait, hold on. Let me do this. This will be easier for me. Okay, right here, but just a little further back, we're gonna build a shop. He's got, you can't see it, but, oh, you can't see it here either, but he's got like a little shed thing there that he uses for his forge, and his forge, he's built like the actual thing, the actual forge he's built, and I was like, hey, we should like build like it, we should move this closer to my house, like to my shop. And he started laughing, and I was like, I'll build you a cool ass building, you just have to pay for the stuff. And then he's like, okay, well, if you put in the gate, because we're gonna put a gate between our properties. He's like, if you build a gate, I'll know you're serious, and then we'll talk about it. So I was like, done. That's going to be in the next vlog. Not the next vlog, but the next vlog that I don't have planned yet. So it'll be this in 3 vlogs. I'm going to build that. So anyway, sorry, I'm all over the place. Susie Q says, yes. Hannah says, I hate falling. Nice door. Oh, I'm glad you like the door. You get light and privacy at the same time. Greenhouse. Lost you again. I like an orangery? I don't know what an orangery is. Awesome idea. Looking forward to it. A solarium there will be warm like your glass block area, especially if it's black. Yeah. I'm going to do it like it's all glass, though, I think, except for the bottom. Let's see. It'll probably be the bottom 4 feet will be not glass, so that I can have like a bench or something like that, because we also have to have, because like our utilities run out there, right? We have like a well also, not that close, but we have a well. The hose comes out there, the meter, gas meter is there, so we have some things to contend with, but I think that would be sick. I talked to Zenobia about it. She thought it was awesome. She was over here a couple days ago. Will it make it too dark in the bathroom having a solarium? No, because like most bathrooms don't have windows. You just turn on the light. That's not a big deal, right? The solarium will have glass roof and glass walls, so light will still get through it, no problem. See, GMDG says, seems like a really good idea and Ashley will love it. I think she will too, but she's also like, well, that's just another project that we have to add. And I was like, yeah, I know, but like, it's a sick project, so who cares? Because we have to get the whole house re-sided and stuff. And I was like, we could just do a different siding there. We could do wood siding. We'll have to put a membrane and stuff. And I'm like, since we're going to take the siding off anyway, we may as well get it ready, right? We can still put the styrofoam, because we're going to do styrofoam insulation all the way around the house. We can, I think anyway, we can put in wood siding. We can put a membrane there so that there's no water penetration, all sorts of different things. And then we'll see how things go from there. So we'll see. Love the project, but like a cold frame idea also. I don't know what a cold frame is. I always wanted that outside my bathroom. Thought that would be so cool. Huh. What kind of gate? It's going to be a gate, like a drive-through gate, like so you can drive a vehicle through it. I believe when you bought this property, you had a vision most couldn't comprehend. Dude, I agree. I'm always told that I dream too big or my ideas are too big to actually be able to do. And if you're talking about like what I currently earn money wise, monetarily, then yes, I can't do everything right now, but in time I will be able to. Maybe go out further than you plan the outside wall of your solarium and plant some shade trees if possible around your other buildings, etc. Now I want it to be completely open in a sense because I have an idea to do like a stone pathway and then have trees around there. I want the whole area to look like it was like I want it to look like you would see at a cool like at a legislature building or like at a like a Japanese embassy or something. I want it to look like it's just manicured all super nice. I have a shed moved and finally got my gutters redone. I'm fixing to redo 3 rooms in my house with drywall because there's too much painted paneling for my liking. Oh, Hannah, I'll do your drywall for you. What about a hot tub out there? Not a huge fan of hot tubs. I am a fan of going in one when I want to go in one, but my in-laws have a hot tub, and man, the maintenance is insane. However, if I got like a saltwater one, I think there's less maintenance to a certain degree, and then there's probably other things that you have to worry about. And then in the winter, you have to have it up hot all the time so that it doesn't freeze. But I wouldn't be against it either. If we could afford to have someone constantly, with the upkeep, then I wouldn't be opposed to it. All right, see you, Matthew. You dream the right size. Everyone else dreams too small. Ha! Thanks, Jim. Jim, you're the black. Jim, how close do you live to me? I need you to help me with this vision, if you're willing, for my neighbor's forge shop. It's going to be somewhat small. The one he has is about 12 by 20, and it'll probably be about the same size. What are the things we need? And how should we have things ready to expand? You probably know. I don't know how big your shop is, but I know you do blacksmithing. Orangery dedicated building on the grounds of fashionable residence from the 17th to 19th century where orange were protected during the winter, a large form of greenhouse or conservatory. I have to look that up. Keep dreaming and planning. Just look how positively that approach works for Alex. They have it down to an art form. Unless you know what goes on behind the scenes. Frick, that guy is so positive, which is so good, but man, people like to screw him. But since he doesn't talk about it, I will also not talk about it. Instead, I will just probably agonize you with that stupid bit of news. Although he did talk about some stuff today on his live. The only thing about the solarium is that they get seriously hot and unbreathable inside. Most people never use them because of that. Right. So you just need to have ventilation, which is I'm going to put in. I want it to be something that we can use purposefully. Purposefully? Yeah, I want it to be something that we want. I want it to be like a sunroom more so than a solarium. Whereas a sunroom is just, it gets a nice sun, but it doesn't get boiling hot. You know what I mean? Cold frame starts your plants earlier before you plant them out in your garden. Yeah, I guess it would be that then. Our hot tub is daily maintenance, 10 minutes, and once a week, on and off all day for a few hours. Have you thought about painting a picture of your vision for the house? No, that's not really my jam. I don't really like doing that. Although, if someone here knows how to... Did you just sneeze, Archie? That was strange. I don't think I've ever heard a cat sneeze before. Does anyone know how to do rendering? Can I hire you? I don't know how much that costs, but if anyone knows how to render. Invitation is open. I'll feed you and pay for your gas. We don't have to hit a level 5, but I gotta get it done. Do a level 4 maybe, you know? Something normal. I'm not Adam. You'll pay for my gas, dude. That would be like $5,000 in gas. Will it be like glass house that you find at botanical gardens? Yeah, it would be. But it would be one that leans off the house. So it wouldn't necessarily have like a cool roof design because it has to fit with the house architecture. I agree with Jim. You don't need to shrink the size of your dreams. People have been conditioned to think small. And yes, blast you a Facebook message, like sandblast you it, because that has to do with metalworking, and you're a metalworker. That was a stupid pun. And we can chat about your neighbor's shop. Okay, I will. If I forget, don't worry, I will remember later. Or if I forget for too long, message me, but I won't forget. Alex has hinted to how the behind the scenes doesn't go as it appears in the edited video, so not exactly a secret. It was good to hear him say on the live that he needs to get tough with the roles. Guys, you don't even know. You don't even know. Sometimes I'll call him or he'll call me, and it's just for like a 2-minute quick conversation about something that's, a project, whatever, and then I'll ask a question or somehow something will come up, and then it's just like, and I'm just like, what the frick? Some people are absolutely awful and delusional. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I can help with... Really? Gen D? Do you do that professionally? Hilarious. I think a cat might be allergic to a human. Imagine. They make pre-made curved glass additions that are fairly affordable. I am thinking of adding one to the shack once I fix the foundation. Sick. You're freaking... I can see it in your picture. It's on your Instagram. Guys, if you don't follow Bootjack Clay Shack and you are a fan of pottery, go follow her Instagram. It's the same thing. But her studio is a cool freaking building. I love it. Love it. They make pre-made curved glass additions that are fairly affordable. I'm thinking of adding one to the shack once I fix the foundation. Pre-made curved glass additions. I'm thinking, well, maybe if it's prefab instead of pre-made, I would be into that because I need it to the dimensions, right? Because I have a whole idea, so we'll see. Jen D says, yep, I'm a designer. Okay, message me. ORDERFROMJOSH@gmail.com. Rendering is like illustration with markers. She says she's a designer. So, we'll see. Prefab, yes. Okay. Someone on Facebook once said that Alex seems chill and doesn't stress out. Obviously, they don't know him that well. I think he's constantly stressed, but he handles it in a can I say poetic way? Does that make sense? He has like a way of making things work out. I think probably I do this too, and to a certain degree. I just haven't had the stakes that he's had, so it seems way less consequence. But he has like this way of, he's like, oh, okay, well, this person absolutely jerked me around. How about I don't say anything about it for some reason? And I'm just like, why are you not saying anything about it? This drama is perfect for YouTube, and it's not fake. It's real. And you don't even have to shit on anyone. I was like, dude, that is interesting to the story. It adds a whole nother couple layers. Not that you want to be a drama queen, because that's not even what it's about. But some of the things, guys, I'm just like, bro, that's not right that happened. You can talk about that without talking badly about anyone else. And it's interesting. And he's like, no, I don't want people thinking that I'm just complaining. I'm like, dude, anyone would complain about that. That is absolutely horseshit that this is happening. It's like, nah. I'm like, all right. I always end up trying to step in and be advocates and get really firm with people that treat people like Alex not so great, because we need more nice people like him. That's true. My husband is that way, constantly stressed, but he handles it with such grace. That's because What was his name again? Bill? Hannah Banana? Didn't you say that his name was like, oh, I forget, Sam? He has like a super plain name, not plain name. What do you call it? Like a, hey, what's your name? Jack. Okay, of course it is. But he's ginger, and I feel like gingers are bullied from the time they were born until the day they die. Makes them like got a nice thick skin, and they're like, stress is my middle name, baby. Let's handle it. Uh, Hi Josh, love your channel. My daughter is a tattoo artist in Vancouver. I've shared your channel with her as I know she will love your art style. Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Carla. Uh, he keeps it to himself and turns away. If you are constantly complaining, you wouldn't have many followers. That's true. But it's not a complaint. It's just an extra part of the story. He's got like a, what do you call it? Like a extra dimension, you know, where he can like just be like, hey, this happened. Unfortunately, but da 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 da, you know? And he would still have the followers. And he'd have more views, I think, too. Uh, it would just be more of the story. And I think it's more riveting because he has to resolve these things, but they happen behind the scenes, right? They're still happening and they're interesting. So you have to keep trying to convince him to share it. We need the entertainment. That's not in him. Okay. It's almost like water off a duck's back. It's annoying, but just something to deal with. You don't need to hire me. I like to help. Well, maybe we could trade then. I think the most he's ever gone into detail about unfairness towards him was the fire hydrant situation. Yeah, and he wasn't even going to do that. John, yes. See, John. I knew his name was Super Plain Jane. John. Now and then cleaning is fine. Just got here. Guess you are talking about Alex and the rolls. That repair shop is not very professional. Not talking about that, but that is, yeah, as well. I think he has had a lot of things through his life already. It has made him strong with maturity and wisdom. Choose the rest of us a thing or two here. I remember that. That was so unfair. Hello, Ginger here. Also not chill. Maybe because I am a bit ADD as well. So the fiery temper goes along with it. Right, but you were bullied probably for having orange hair, right? Like everyone in my class who was a ginger, instant bullied. And most of the time when you get older, it's like you get like it's just you're just jokes, right? But if you can't take the joke or don't want to take the joke or whatever the case is, then you know, and it bothers you, it just makes you. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I need to probably wash this mop. But I have red hair too. It's just not orange. It's more of like a auburn color. But I didn't get bullied because of my hair. I got bullied because I have freckles. But not bullied in a bad way. It's more like ribbing, which I didn't mind. I don't like freckles on me. They look fine on other people, but that's just probably just my own whatever. I'm just like, oh, I wish I didn't have these. But anyone else who has freckles, I'm not like, ew, wish you didn't have freckles, bro. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. I'm too nice. My bathroom floor had a hole cut out and dug up to fix a broken pipe. Still waiting for them to fix the floor 8 weeks later. Dang. Gingers unite. Beth is also a ginger. I was blonde and got bullied. For being blonde, though? Because, like, gingers will be bullied just for having orange hair, not for anything else. It's like, that person has orange hair. Let's make a holiday about it. Kick a ginger. Not a holiday. What do you call it? Let's have a kick a ginger day. Alex has to be careful calling out other business. He doesn't want to be that guy on YouTube that rips apart fellow small business owners. Just because you can say something doesn't mean you should. He should say something, but he doesn't have to call out the business. Like I already said, he could talk about these things happening without mentioning any names. I've talked to him about it like 10 times probably. Because it really bothers him, certain things. And I'm just like, dude, You could get paid for this. But he doesn't want to, so he doesn't. Oh, dumb blonde jokes. Ah. I never understood why people bully over red hair. I think it's glorious. Ashley loves red hair too. By Hannah here, this made me laugh. I got more freckles than skin without freckles. Ah, that's so funny. Uh, oh, you got bullied for having really blonde hair. Kids said my mom died because it was so white and they didn't believe it was real. So I had a kid in my class named Wesley White and his hair was white. And I was like, dude, you look like a grandpa. I couldn't believe how white his hair was. And then there was another kid named Austin, uh, who also had white hair and he was a grandpa. I mean, he was younger than me. He was like 7. And I was like, dude, but he would talk like he was a grandpa. He'd be like, sure is a nice day for gardening. He'd like come over to our house, and even though we were way older than him, he'd jump on our trampoline or whatever, and then like my mom would be in the garden or something, or planting flowers or something, and he'd be like, "Yep," and he'd look at the sky. Probably get rain in a couple days. Not that only grandpas say that, but like just this little kid talking like that, dude. It was freaking hilarious. My whole family, like my older brothers, like my brothers who were like 25 and 30 at the time were like, they would laugh. They would crack up because this little 7-year-old, it's like, yep, well, looks like gas is going to go up again. And you're just like, what? How do you know that? You're 7. You don't buy gas. It was just the best. If you employ someone to carry out a service, I don't think it's complaining to hold that person to account. If they fail to honor that contract of service, wouldn't be so nice for long. LOL. True. I wish I was a ginger. I always wanted curly red hair from the age of 4 instead of stick straight thin brown hair. At least I got the green eyes. Green eyes. That's rare for. That's the smallest color, right? Or how do you say that? The least amount of people have green eyes. Green is the least common eye color. There we go. I wanted cute freckles like my German grandma. I finally got some over my nose. Then the day I turned 40, they turned into age spot, and I was at the dermatologist to have them removed. You can remove freckles? Alex should do a do and don't video about the car issue. Huh. Brett, they thought you were albino? My hubby had freckles on freckles and very strawberry blonde with very dark red beard. He is all white now, but still kept his freckles. Huh. How's the garden doing? We need an update and visit with the chickens. I think you should get a couple goats. But Ashley would love them. She wants sheep, not goats, but I was thinking maybe we would get a goat or two as well at some point. I don't know though. Garden is doing good. I show it a little bit. The onions didn't come up. Probably the bulbs. What do you call them? The onion part that you grow weren't good. I don't know. So we'll see. Everything else is, I don't know, like this tall. If you follow Ashley's Instagram, she shared a post yesterday. Ashley Rose Alexander. My son would talk like that at the age too. He'd compliment random women. That's a lovely sweater. I said, this music really moves me. Hazel eyes, brown around the middle, green on the outside. Alex Cars had me upset. They should have left that bumper alone. Yeah. Well, they should have taken the bumper off instead of cutting it off. Goats would be a good help to clean the underbrush in the woods. Yeah. Goats will eat your weeds. Yeah, but they'll eat everything, right? They'll even eat your fence posts. I have green eyes. One has heterochromia iridis sectoral. I don't know what the heck that is, but it sounds interesting. I have a chunk of brown in one. Ah, okay. I giggle listen to you every time. I giggle listen to you every time. So cute. Huh. Both of my parents had green eyes, and none of us have green eyes. My sister has hazel eyes, and my brother and I have blue eyes, all different shades of blue. They cut off the bumper brackets. Yeah, I heard that. I had a dog that ate through the steel belt of a tire. Huh, I'm a ginger too. Kids tried to taunt me with Karen the Red Baron. They missed the fact that the Red Baron was so badass that even Snoopy loved him. Karen the Red Baron. The Red Baron was a really good fighter pilot, but he was a bad guy. But he was very good at his job. Sheep, not a bad, not a bad idea. Okay. Yeah, they cut off the bumper brackets. Idiots. I wonder if they couldn't get it loose somehow or something. I don't know. Okay, guys. That's it. We've been on for way too long. I have things to do, but it looks like it's probably going to rain. So it's a good thing I didn't get to it because it would have ruined it probably. So I'm going to go do something else. So I will, let's see here. I have a vlog coming out. Yeah, busy. But we talked about some things in here. Let's try to get these things done. Thanks for keeping me company while I do my You did the dishes too. Oh, I said that weird. Dishes. You did the dishes too, Julie. Okay. Stop taking all our time, geez. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and see me next time.